Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm back in X-Plane. I'm currently in Nassau, in the Bahamas. And I'm going to show you guys what a go-around is. Alright, first thing is first. What is a go-around? Simply put, a go-around is where the pilot aborts the landing for a variety of reasons. Be it that there's airplanes on the runway, there's traffic on the runway's, occupied for whatever reason. Be it that there's severe weather conditions, right? Low visibility, you can't see the runway. Or whether it's a mechanical problem with the airplane that needs some time to troubleshoot in the air, like a flap problem or a gear problem on final approach. Or whether it's that the airplane's approach is unstable. And by unstable approach, I mean the airplane's not configured properly for landing, or the airplane's not lined up with the runway, or it's too low to the ground, or too high to land safely. And yeah, there's so many more reasons, right? And both air traffic control and pilots can order a go-around. And yeah. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at basically what the standard operating procedure for a go-around is. Alright? So, for go-around missed approach, the pilot flying, we're talking about a two-man operation.
Heading bug, adjust track, descend weather,
so
max 3 flight level steps.
Pilot flying will push the toga switch, which is one of the buttons. They're located down here, and that'll place the airplane in go-around mode. So there's two buttons, two toga buttons, one on each side of the throttle. Any one of them can put the airplane in go-around mode. And then he will simultaneously announce go-around, flaps, whatever. So if you're using landing flaps, flaps 30, that's going to be
Heading
flaps
bug,
15
adjust
for the
track,
go-around.
Descend weather, max 3 flight level steps.
X checklist keeps on popping up for whatever reason. Okay, so if we're using landing flaps, flaps 30 or flaps 40, it'll be flaps 15. And if you're using flaps 15 for landing, it's going to be flaps 1 for the go-around. Alright, so yeah, flaps 30, flaps 40 for landing, flaps 15 go-around, flaps 15 for the landing, flaps 1 for the go-around. And the overall idea here is that in the go-around, you want to reduce drag on the airplane, right? So you want to get as much lift out of the airplane as possible.
Descend weather, max 3 flight level steps.
And flaps, they, create lift, but they also create drag at the same time, right? Yeah, and the pilot monitoring will move the flap lever to the to whatever D10 it is, and then you have to verify that you have the go-around pitch attitude and the thrust increases. All right, for the pilot, and then
descend weather, max 3 flight level steps.
Then pilot monitoring call out positive rate of climb, and then pilot flying will call gear up, landing gear will be raised. Verify missed approach altitude, go around to set. Yeah. Zero speed below top of the amber band, limit the bank angle to 15 degrees. So like if you're on the minimum maneuvering speed, then you have to limit the bank angle to 15 degrees. Above 400 feet, verify that LNAV is active or anything like is appropriate. And then above 400 feet, you can select appropriate roll mode. And then verify that the approach, like the misapproach route, is tracked. And then once you reach the acceleration heights, pilot flying will call flaps 5, and then flaps 1, and then flaps up on schedule. And after the flap retraction, select level change. Do the plan flap settings, select level change, and then VNAV. You can engage VNAV after the flaps are up. Verify climb thrust is set. Verify missile approach altitude is captured, and then put the landing gear lever off. Set the engine start switches as needed, and then do the after takeoff checklist, and then you come back in and land again. So here's a description of what the automation will do for the go-around, right? And the go-around that we're talking about today is a manual go-around, a flight director go-around. So it's like if both autopilots are not engaged, a manual flight director only go-around is available under the following conditions. So in flight below 2,000 feet, brake altimeter in flight above 2,000 feet, with flaps not up or glide slope captured, not in takeoff mode. If it's not in takeoff mode, or if the toga switches are activated after touchdown. So with the first push, if you push the toga switch once, the auto throttle, if it was armed, will engage in GA, which is go around mode, and will advance the thrust toward the reduced go around thrust, reduced go around power, or N1, to produce a climb rate of 1,000 to 2,000 feet per minute. So it's a pretty set rate of climb. It's a pretty decent rate of climb. It's not too steep, it's not too shallow. It's just sufficient to reach the go-around altitude. The auto throttle engage mode enunciation on the FMA will indicate that. Okay, autopilot, if it was engaged, would disengage if we're doing a single autopilot landing. The pitch mode will engage in TOGA, T-O-G-A, takeoff/go-around. And the pitch engage enunciation, and it will indicate to us, it will indicate that on the flight mode annunciator. So this is the auto throttle mode, the left side auto throttle mode. The center is the horizontal mode, the lateral mode, and the right part is the vertical mode. All right. Pitch is always vertical. And then the flight director will command 15 degrees of nose-up pitch until reaching the programmed rate of climb, and it will command the target airspeed for each flap setting, which is based on the maximum takeoff weight calculations. And then flight director roll commands will hold the current ground track at or below 50 feet above ground level, or AGL. Above 50 feet AGL, then LNAV, it will engage if it was armed. If it wasn't engaged, then we would select the roll mode, LNAV, or heading select. And if you push the go around, and that was a lot, yeah. So, in short, when you push the toga switch, when you're ready to go around on the, when you're landing, push the toga switch, or on the 737 that I'm flying here in the flight simulator, you can actually, this can also be achieved by pressing the mic button. right? You press the mic button once, or the toga switch, the auto throttle once, the auto throttle will advance to reduced go-around thrust. If it was engaged, of course. If it wasn't engaged, you would advance the thrust manually to a desirable thrust setting that would produce your 1,000, 2,000 feet rate of climb. And then if you were to push the mic button or the go-around switches a second time, the auto throttle would advance to full go-around thrust, right? To give you full go-around thrust. So full go-around thrust requires 2 pushes of the toga switch. Reduced go-around thrust requires only 1. And then yeah, and then the mode enunciator here will change to N1 to indicate that the auto throttle is programming that the engine thrust is set to the maximum thrust for the go around. And yeah. So, and then here is a picture of the flight mode enunciator and the profile. Alright, you're coming into land, you push the go around switch, the toga switch, all throttle will engage in GA, and you will start to climb away. Right? Above 400 feet, if LNAV was armed, it will engage. Below 400 feet, it's just going to be armed. And then acceleration height, it will retract the flaps on schedule. And then approaching the missed approach altitude, pitch mode will engage now to acquire. Auto throttle will engage MCB speed. So the speed that's auto throttle will engage in the mode to okay. The auto throttle will engage command the thrust to maintain the speed that is set in the mode control panel when you approach when you're closing in on the missed approach altitude. And then once you reach the missed approach altitude, pitch mode engages altitude hold to maintain that altitude. Whew, that was a lot, right? Now, do you guys want to see it occur in real life? Yep. That's what we're going to do. So I'll see you on final approach then. But before we get into the approach, it is important to take a look at what kind of approach we are flying first. Alright? So we are going to be flying what's called an ILS, or Instrument Landing System approach, to runway 14, which is the longest runway that we have at Nassau, right? And we are going to be coming through the Kure intersection, right? And yeah. So let me get my pencil out. So we are going to be flying the Kure, and then the 14 DME arc at 2000, and then we get to Muni at 2000. We should be at 2,000 feet by Muni, and then go heading 141, which is runway heading. Descend to 1,700 feet, level off till we intercept the glide slope, and then it's probably gonna be like at or before 6.7 miles from the runway. They're gonna follow this glide slope all the way down, and then we initiate our missed approach. So for the ILS, this is our minimum descent altitude or decision height, so 264 feet in the barrel, which I am going to set right away. And it's very important, guys, that you tune the instruments. Like this is what pilots they normally do, right? 264. Okay. And then, yeah, might as well go ahead and start descending. And then, yeah, we need to cross-check this with our MC, so... Yeah, so we can go straight ahead and set 2,000 feet down there. And then, yeah. In case of misapproach, we fly straight onto the runway heading, climb straight out, and then we turn back on heading 321 for the Nassau VOR, and then we just join the holding pattern right over here. Yeah, it hasn't changed much in the recent decades. Yeah, all of this is part of the approach briefing, right? And it's very, very important that that pilots brief the approach that they're going to fly. Like they brief the landing before they start their approach, so that way, you know, there's less of a chance that errors will pop up, and if errors do pop up during the approach, they can be corrected, right? Yeah. And all this is already entered into the flight management computer. And if we can see on the flight management computer, the blue line would represent the missed approach sort of procedure. And yeah, so we're going to be using flaps. And then for landing flaps, we're going to be using flaps 30. VREF is the reference speed 129, so we add 5 knots for the wind, so it's going to be 134 knots. Yeah, so just set this on the approach radial. And yeah. And then once the missed approach comes, then we just tune the radials for missed approach, which I think that, like on this approach it's already set. Nothing too much I have to worry about. All right then, we'll see you guys on final approach then. All right, guys. So now we are on final approach. We have aligned ourselves to the localizer. We are bang on the glide slope right now. And yeah. So we're just going to continue figuring for landing. So we get to 7.5 miles, lower the landing gear, and then deploy flaps 15 degrees. And then, yeah, we just go from there. Okay. Gear down. Flaps 15. Arm the speed brakes. Get taxi light. Start switches on. And...
Down 3 grains.
Checked. .15 speed. Flaps 30. Alright, before landing checklist, engine start switches continuous, speed brakes armed, landing gear is down, flaps 30 green light, landing checklist completed. Alright, we're going to continue this all the way down to our minimums, and then we will go around. So, once go around starts, I will press the mic switch, which will engage go around mode. The autopilot will disengage.
Too fast.
The autopilot will disengage, and then you have to manually fly the airplane.
A/P disengage, yoke button.
And then I'll just the thrust will advance.
Approaching 1-4.
And then yeah, and of course I'll announce
Too
go
fast.
around flaps 15.
Too fast.
All right. 500 stable.
Unstable. Unstable.
Disregard that.
400. 300.
All right. Here we go. Approaching minimums checked.
Minimum.
Go around. Set go around thrust. Flaps 15. Positive climb. Gear up. Alright, that's first to 15 degrees of pitch. So we climb 2,000 above. Maybe we go 3,000. Alright. Flaps 5. What does misapproach procedure say? 2,000, then turn left. Okay. Just, alright. Flaps 1. And flaps up. LNAV. Okay. Just VVM altitude. Okay. No change. Altitude hold. Okay. Okay, and we will do the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds on, packs, auto, landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete, and I gotta be careful with the altitude here because the autopilot doesn't want to engage for some reason. Or yeah, there we go. Autopilot's engaged now. And yeah, so overall that wasn't a terrible go-around. Maybe we can watch from the replay and see how that went. Shall we? So I was coming in, ready to land.
1,000.
Glide slow. Yeah. Okay, let's take it all the way until we reached
500. 400. 300.
Yep. And there's where I
2,500.
push the toga switch.
500.
And let's see that on the runway. We're just about to land. And yeah. And there's a view of the terminal. And this is what the tower controller would have saw. As I made that go around. Alright. And yeah, that's the go around. And now all we gotta do is fly the airplane. Now we gotta do is like follow the standard approach procedure to a T, and then come back in for another landing. Simple as that. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you found it very inspirational. Hope you learned something about go-arounds. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, feel free to type them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, want to watch more, hit that like button, subscribe, and then activate that notification bell so you won't miss out on upcoming videos. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.